Back to agriculture.
Thank you for staying with us. My partner just muttered under his breath, we're back to agriculture. We have to feed ourselves as Nigerians.
You just remind me of that song by Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey in the 90s.
Which said?
In the 80s, or late 70s, early 90s.
Which said?
Operation Feed the Nation.
Oh. And we're still talking about that in 2024. How we're going to be able to feed. Our population is growing. Nobody wants to go to the farm, and yet we all have to eat to survive. Now we're looking at the poultry side of it now. The Poultry Association of Nigeria have called for an urgent intervention by the president himself, Bola Tinubu, or his administration rather, on the astronomical hike in the cost of poultry feeds. The association said that failure of government to take urgent action to mitigate this challenge would lead to total collapse of poultry subsector of the economy. The association frowned at the perpetual hike in price of feed, adding that government could intervene by giving grants to farmers in order for them to remain in business. The Poultry Association says the basic intervention its members need is grants, not loans, to sustain the industry, because over time farmers have lost a lot of money. So if they are taking loans now, they will not be able to pay back these loans. My first paragraph was scary, that we're not going to get chickens to eat, that it may lead to the total collapse of this sector. Anyway, the Director General, Poultry Association of Nigeria, is joining us virtually, Dr. Onalu Akpa.
But we only have Mr. Gwazo with us this morning. You want to remember him?
Dr. Usman Gwazo.
Yeah.
He is the chairman of the Kano State chapter of the Poultry Association of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. We have some rather frightening figures here, and I am sure that these are the figures that affected us being able to eat chicken like we normally did during the Christmas period. We were buying chickens at 8,000, 9,000 naira, whereas chickens used to be what, 3,000, 4,000 a piece. They said that feeds went up from 8,000 at the end of November to 9,000 in the first week of December. And then by the second week, it had gone up to 9,500 naira. What exactly is going on? Why are these prices rising like every other day?
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure having you this morning. As you introduced me, I lead the poultry farmers in Kano, northwestern Nigeria. It's really scary the way you put it when you look at the trend. In some part of the country, it is more than what you expect. The main ingredients which we use to produce these poultry feeds are maize and soya. And if you look at how soya is, around June, we are buying a ton at about 320,000 naira per ton. Now it has escalated this week to 500,000 naira per ton. Maize, which contribute to over 50% of the poultry feed, is now even scarce to get. At the early part of this, at the end of the rainy season, it was at 320,000 naira per ton. Now we are talking about 500,000 naira per ton. So when you look at these two parameters, it was close to over 100% increase. You notice why the feed is increasing. And the most scariest part of the situation is we are not just far away from the harvest period. And we are trying, if you look at how the economy has dealt with the industry starting from February last year to now, with complications of one business into another and the scarcity of the input, you will see the trend is moving to the extent where the farmers cannot bear the shock anymore. Poultry farms are closing. In northwestern Nigeria, you are talking about close to 80% of the farms have closed. And the remaining are struggling to survive, just trying to be in the business because it has been part of their life. So with this increase, the fear is not only what you narrated of high cost, but we may end up not having even chicken and egg in just any moment from now. You will start looking for egg and chicken and you will not get it anywhere because farmers can no longer sustain the business.
Mr. Guazo, is all our maize important? I thought we produce a substantial amount of maize locally.
Sure, but if you look at the major states that produce maize are now facing a lot of security challenges. So there's a decrease in production. In 2022, you are talking about underproduction by over 400,000 metric tons of maize. And the government didn't do anything to bridge that gap. And the situation continues this year. I'm sure if you go to market, you will hear how people are crying about the price of maize. A bag of maize, which was 17,000 naira some time ago, now is talking about 50,000 naira.
80.
So this indicates...
Did you say 80?
And you know how loose our borders is up north. The maize is going out, but nothing comes in.
Well, Dr. Guazo, is there any way that some of these prices, okay, maybe I should put it this way. What are the factors that you can adduce as being responsible for this, the increase in the prices of the feed that you have to work with?
Number one, there are already, I mentioned one, which is security. People need to go to the farm. Now they don't have access to the farms. Number two, the major producers previously rely on banks. Now banks are not interested much in giving agricultural loans to the farmers. And where they give is at the rate where the farmers cannot recover and pay the interest. Number three, the attention which government give to agriculture. If you look at when you're talking about subsidy in Nigeria, the main mention of the word subsidy, it is as if you are just talking about the oil sector. There is no subsidy, active subsidy going on in the agriculture sector, both in the production of the grains and also we in the poultry industry. Then number four, you are talking about loose borders. Where our currency is going down every day, so it's easier just for somebody to take maize outside the country and make a huge profit. And you know how loose our borders are. Then number five, this maize which we are using and soya, you have a massive exportation of soya to Europe, to Americas. Then in-house, there is a competition on the demand of maize. Human beings consume maize. Industries that process other items are also looking for maize. Breweries consume a lot of that. So these are the main factors which we are not paying attention to, but now it's leading to a catastrophic result, especially we in the poultry industry.
But Dr. Guazo, there are those who would wonder, for instance, how strong is your association Because, for instance, some people will be wondering, why not as an association approach maybe the states to have some kind of partnership, to create your own commercial maize farms? By that, I mean those who wonder that a lot of bottlenecks will be cut off by that. You'll be in partnership.
Yeah,
with the
my
states.
national president will be in the better position, but let me give you how strong our association is. This is an association which has membership in all the 36 states and FCT. We have state chapters. We have national leadership led by Chief Sunday. We have Onalo Apa, which coordinates as a DG, and thousands of members. Among these our members, anybody who retire from politics, anybody who retire from academia, businessmen, high-placed individual, they end up either going back to farm or to religious institution.
Good.
So poultry industry, you have a lot of this high.
Fantastic, Dr. Guazo. So then it should be easier for your association to partner with states to get your own commercial farms.
That is where I'm taking you to.
Okay.
If you go down the states, we keep on engaging. But when you are talking about business, government look at it as a profit-making industry and should sustain itself through banks. Unlike other type of business which you can take the price anyhow, poultry is not like that. We engage government. Some government are very responsive. We sat down, we discussed. Recently, like a year ago, there was even some response from CBN to release some maize. Now we are dealing with APAN, Association of Poultry, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, who are into this grain production to see how we can work together. But when the production failed to meet the demand, this is the consequences we are facing now.
Okay.
I'm sure Chief Sunday and Dr. Onalo can add to what they're doing at the center, but I'm giving you the experience from the states where it's not easy to even bring government to have good understanding of how important it is to put contribution into the production of grains, especially for our consumption.
But the challenge that you have mentioned now, if you can speak to your own experience in Kano State, your own engagement, because I feel that if the states, for instance, know that the chicken will be cheaper, eggs will be cheaper in Kano State, in the long run, for instance, maybe around Easter or sometime further during Ramadan and all, they would know that it's also in their own informed, or should I say, enlightened self-interest to ensure that these things...
Yeah, with the...
Plus, my apology, just a second. Added to the fact that you said that a good number of your members are from the public service, either as politicians or civil servants. So they should have enough influence to persuade their colleagues in government that, look, this thing, you are also coming back to meet us later.
Sure. Let me give you an example of what effort we did in Kano. With the coming of this new government, just around June, July, we had meetings with the highest level. That is the governor, who was represented by the deputy governor and commissioner of agriculture. And we sat down to itemize each and every area of concern and what is the solutions to this. Let me highlight one, the issue of the PEDs. We come up with plan, and the government develop interest. We develop a concept note on how we are going to address this issue of maize. The second one, another area of value chain, the government comes with agenda of youth empowerment. We have demonstrated to them how it is important to come into. But an industry which has so many people along the value chain, sometimes government find it difficult to say, okay, which one are we going to deal with? We were consumers of grain. There's another association which are producing the grain. How can these two associations work together? And that is what we are doing now with the Kano State government. And they have really demonstrated interest. Probably we may start seeing something come out. But if you look at it, one state cannot do much. For example, if Kano intervene and is producing maize, it's an open market, as if they are producing for northern Nigeria. And when you go to Kano, you keep on seeing maize moving to West African countries. You see moving to southern part of the state country. So it's difficult for one state to take that. And I think in your opening remark, there is emphasis on the need for president to do much in this area. This requires a national attention. The farmers have already found themselves deep into the problem. They cannot, even banks now cannot salvage this industry with the rate at which people are paying interest. Government need to come either in form of grants, government need to come to subsidize this product, and looking into the size of this industry, it is very essential for Mr. President to...
Now, Dr. Gwazo, this is not the first time we're talking about feed and how the price is escalating. I see a paradox here. You just spoke about maize being produced and being exported. Maize is being exported and maize is being imported to make chicken feed. What exactly is going on?
That is absence of regulation. If government at the center have put a strong regulation, we will not have this issue of in, out, in, out. You will use the hard-earned dollars to bring maize, while another set of people, just like what was happening in petrol, you are importing fuel through the sea and it's going out through the land. So it's the same equation, which if we didn't take the bull by the horn, the situation will not change.
Well, all we can do now is wish the association all the best in this intervention that it is seeking with the government, because chicken is something that a lot of Nigerians value as part of their diets, and it will be nasty for us not to have eggs and not to have chicken. So, Dr. Gwazo, we wish you all the best. Dr. Usman Gwazo, Chairman, Kano State Chapter, Poultry Association of Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
We have to also underscore that there are other people who are supposed to join us, but not able to join us for some tech challenges on their own end. And this is an ongoing conversation. This chicken matter is not a chicken matter.
It's not a chicken matter at all. It's very, very important because we all need eggs. Our children need eggs to grow up properly, and we need eggs to remain healthy. Sunrise will return in just a moment, and we'll be going to the lifestyle discussion.